Hi again, and welcome to Get Some. I'm Dave Azer. She is sex and relationship expert, Dr. Lisa Paz. On our show today, why is dating so darn hard, and what's the hardest thing about it? Plus, a scientific study on what makes men attractive, and why a strip club can be fun for both men and women.
All right.
Plus, Dr. Paz and our panel of sexperts answers your sex and relationship questions, including, how can I get my ex-boyfriend to stop showing up at my house at 4:30 in the morning? It's called a restraining order.
Perhaps.
Plenty to do, Dr. Paz. How about some foreplay?
Let's do it.
Here we go. First up, horny for porn. Would that make you porny? Found this on the Huffington Post, according to a survey conducted by adult webcam site Cam4.com. Of the 1,000 adults they surveyed, 90% of men and 60% of women reported watching porn regularly, and 53% said they and their partners watch porn as a couple. Good news for the Geek Squad, that's a lot of laptops to debug. Just use Purell. Next, 50 Shades of Red. Match.com surveyed over 5,000 singles for its Singles in America study, and apparently 40% of redheads achieve the big O 90% of the time. Blondes have more fun? I think not. Of course, maybe they just asked a certain redhead, hello Lindsay, and used her answer over and over. Kind of makes you wonder what's in that special sauce, Ronald McDonald. A new survey by Illicit.com polled a bunch of readers, and here are the 5 jobs men have that women find the sexiest. 5th place, farmer, probably that whole milking thing. 4th place, firefighter, we get it, they're hot, we know. 3rd, lawyer. 2nd, doctor, it's time for your pap smear. And in 1st place, chef, meaning cooking for you is sexier than saving your life. And finally, FHM just named its 100 sexiest women in the world, and Jennifer Lawrence came in first. This after she tripped not once, but twice at the Oscars, and also apparently got so wasted at a post-Oscars party that she puked in public in front of Miley Cyrus, giving new meaning to the term hot mess. But if this is the new criteria for being hot, we wonder why this woman didn't win, or this one. And that was foreplay. Now let's head back over to the couch to get down and dirty. All right, Dr. Paz, we found a great article at thoughtcatalog.com, and in a nutshell, it breaks down why dating is so difficult. Shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, among the reasons, the person who cares less has all the power. It's true.
It is true. I hate to say it.
Making phone calls is a dying art.
Also true.
Set plans are dead because people get up-to-the-minute updates on their friends' whereabouts. And thanks to social media, there are now many, many more ways to cheat. All right, let's break these down one by one. We're going to start with the person who cares less has all the power. It doesn't seem fair.
It's not fair, but unfortunately it's true, and that power differential can feel so intimidating for people. But, in anything, if we think about negotiations in business, or if we think about someone, every time we want something more, it makes us the more vulnerable person. And so if you're the one that can walk away easier, you probably do have more of the power.
Is there a way, if you really like somebody a lot, to convince yourself how important this is, to sort of play this game a little and figure out a way to kind of detach a bit? It's hard to do.
It really, really is hard to do. I think the critical component here is to just take it easy and just to have a good time, because what happens is we start to freak out that, oh my God, what if I lose this? Or we start to get insecure, and then we become unattractive, right? And so we were just talking about this. By sort of letting our fear drive the relationship, we're self-sabotaging. So we gotta just relax.
Now it is time for your take. We asked you, what is the single hardest thing about dating?
The hardest thing about dating is finding a man that's truthful, respectful, and has integrity.
Finding someone that has a job.
To find the right location to meet a good man.
The hardest thing about dating is having to find that right person that fits with you, has the same personality, and get along with.
Accepting someone else's past and learning to trust them.
The hardest thing about dating is communication, because guys interpret things differently. For example, we want them to hold our hands and kiss us on the cheek, and they just are all about their games.
I would have to say the hardest thing about dating is my boyfriend Zach lives here in Fort Lauderdale, and I live back in Illinois.
All right, so what jumped out at you there?
The accepting someone's past, because I think this is inevitably one of the hardest things for anyone in dating, is that if you learn about their past, or if you know them and you know about their past, you compare, you feel intimidated. Our past haunts us sometimes, or haunts the person we're with.
You got to go clean slate, right?
You have to at least be willing to sort of give the person a clean slate, because in case it's the first time you're ever dating someone, literally in your life, they're going to come with a past.
I'll tell you, this is a true story. I got set up on a date, and I Googled her, and
Weird.
I know, but guess what I found?
I appreciate your
But guess what I found?
She
A mugshot.
Really?
I'm not going to tell you what for, but I found a mugshot, and that was that.
It
really.
bothered you?
It did bother me, yeah, because I feel like I should know going in. Like, I don't know, let a brother know, maybe.
Let a brother know, ladies.
All right, and with that, it's time for a little just a tip.
All right, so tip 1, you want to establish trust, but then honor it. So establish and honor trust. Tip 2, recognize that you guys are going to disagree. It doesn't mean the end of a relationship. And then tip 3, keep sex as a priority. Keep the relationship hot.
Keep the relationship hot, if we've learned nothing else. It is time for a break. When we come back, a scientific study on what makes men attractive. The answer, hosting a talk show.
Oh.
We'll be right back. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm here at Exotica, the Triple X Festival going down in South Florida, and I'm about to do something I've always wanted to do. Talk to porn stars. 5, 4, 3, 2, not them. With Sydney Leathers, Tanya Tate, Tori Black. Sydney, my first question is this. Dating for you. Do you ever date normal guys, like not in the business?
I do, actually. They just have to be open-minded.
I gotta tell you, I feel underdressed. You look amazing.
Thank you. Well, it's like the original Catwoman, you know, like the Julie Newmar version from the Batman series. A lot of guys like this, you know, the tight lycra catsuit. And of course, we do have, you can look down, we do have some cleavage going on down here as well.
Now, here's my question. Now, you sleep with some great-looking men. Do you ever walk up to a set and be like, ew, this guy is gross. How am I going to possibly go through with this?
No, I mean, it depends on
you
what
can be
kind
honest.
of gross. If we're talking non-hygienic, then yes. But otherwise, I like to have an open mind. So you don't silently judge someone when you're with them, be honest.
Okay, maybe I did last night.
Last thing, Tanya, I own a Batman outfit. Should I meet you back here around midnight?
Yeah, let's do it.
You can turn the camera off now. We're done here. All right. Okay. Don't ever disobey her. Ever.
I'll use a cane on you.
Exotica 2014. I've been kissed. I've been flogged. I've been blown away at the sheer talent. It's been an incredible experience, and trust me, next year, you need to come check it out yourself. See you then. Get some. You wanna grab it. Get some. Welcome back to Get Some. Dave Azer along with sex and relationship expert, Dr. Lisa Paz. You know, Dr. Paz, why do we need a scientist to cure a disease when instead they can quantify scientifically what makes men attractive? I mean, that clearly is more important.
I agree.
Who needs to cure anything?
Totally
Believe it or not, there was an actual scientific study conducted on this very subject, and according to BusinessInsider.com, here are the 5 male features that are the most prominent and therefore most attractive to women.
Okay, let's hear it.
Symmetry.
Okay.
Voice.
Okay.
Jaws, eyes, and sadly for some, height. That is so not fair, by the way. I have a real bone to pick with that.
The height one?
Yeah, come on.
Well, and what's interesting is I often see really, really tall guys with the really petite girls that normally would be a good fit for the guys that are not stocking the height.
In the interest of fairness, so I'd like to objectify the women a little bit as well, okay? I think that's only fair. So this is from Huffington Post, the top 3 female body parts that men love the most, and these are all sort of fairly obvious: lips, butt, and chest.
Yeah, no surprises there. No surprises there. I would have been surprised if it was something like nose, feet, and ears.
Really? Those are my 3. That's so weird. Yeah. Do women, are women aware of these things, and do they dress accordingly and work out accordingly? You can't really work out on your lips or your chest, though.
No, but I think that women do. I mean, I think Angelina Jolie sparked the whole lip craze.
Yep.
And I mean, butt and boobs, it's as old as time.
You give me Kardashian's butt, Jolie's lips, and whose boobs?
Pam Anderson.
Pam Anderson, dream woman.
There you go.
That's what
or like
we think.
Plastic weirdness.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. What do you think? It is time for us to go pole dancing. Here's our poll question of the week. What do you find sexiest in a person? All right, Bo, what do you find most attractive, most sexy in a woman?
She's got to have a nice little butt on her. Nice little stomach, nice little butt, nice little rear.
When she's independent.
Tiffany, what do you find sexiest in a man?
I'd have to say their booty.
So you like a round, supple booty?
Yes, the one that looks good in baseball pants.
What about physically? What's the sexiest part of a woman physically?
The ass.
No more sit-ups.
You don't have to be perfectly fit. If you have a cute little beer belly, it's all good. I like it.
I wish every woman was like that. Gym memberships, who needs them? What about the non-physical, like, you know, personality-wise? What do you like in a woman?
That's all right, I guess.
Well, there's a lot of butt lovers there.
I mean, who knew? They like it. They like the butt. Wait, my favorite was the guy that you asked about personality, and he's like, yeah, not so much.
You know, it's a plus, I guess, but
That's right. He really wanted the boobs and the butt.
Who really cares? Well, speaking of boobs and butts,
yes.
I had a chance to go to Cheetah.
Fun.
Talk to them.
All right.
And they explain why going to a strip club is not just fun for the guys, duh, obviously, but also for the ladies.
It can be. It can be. I'm really excited about this.
Here you go. We're hanging out here with Joe Rodriguez, the owner of the Cheetah Gentlemen's Clubs, and I gotta say, if I could be anyone else, it might be you, my friend. You've met the Pope, you met the President, you're all over the world. You're pretty big time. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you, Dave. It's my pleasure having you here.
And we know that, look, guys are gonna go to strip clubs, that's what guys do, but why do you think it's a great spot for women and couples to come? Like, it's a pretty cool date spot, right?
Yeah, back in the old days, we got no couples. And I gotta tell you that on a Saturday night, we have 10, 12 couples.
How much is the most amount of money anyone has ever dropped in one sitting here?
The most amount, I used to have a gentleman, we still have him, and he came in, he spent $79,000.
In one shot?
One shot.
Talking about money, it's kind of a weird segue, but talking about money, I know charity and giving back to the community is really important for you, right?
Yes. I've been supporting football teams, bands, schools for the last 15 years. I've donated over $1 million to the schools and Children's Hospital. It's very, very important to me. And it's nice to be able to give back.
But it was great talking to you, Joe. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you, sir.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
All right, as mentioned, we are now hanging out with one of the lovely masseuses, Felicia. Nice to see you.
Hi, nice to see you as well.
So what exactly do you do here?
Here I provide massages for the gentlemen and the females that come in, and I could either give you a massage on the floor, or I have a private area where we have a massage chair, which I really enjoy that as well.
Guys, as we have said many times on this show, need help when it comes to talking to beautiful women. You're intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. So from your daily interaction with guys, what advice could you give them on how to talk to, you know, dancers or masseuses or just really hot women?
The best thing is to just go with the flow, be very nice and kind, and make sure, like you said, leave a nice tip.
Felicia, it was great. I could go for a little 10-minute massage if you're offering right now, I'm just saying.
For sure.
all in a day's work for you.
I mean, it's a tough job, you know?
Someone has to do it.
Gosh.
Listen, you know, I think that this is great because this is one of those things where if women can feel comfortable going, men feel like, great, this is something we can do together. It can spice us up. We've talked about this, and a lot of times it's the intimidation factor for women that keeps them from not going. So hopefully this will change the game.
And I have to tell you, I've been once or twice, you know, for research. Obviously, I'm dedicated.
Yeah, you are.
And I think that the women that I have gone with, because I've gone with ladies, they have a great time.
I hear that from time to time.
Yeah.
I hear that from time to time.
Yeah.
That the women really enjoy themselves.
Yeah, and you know, you and I have talked on this show a lot about how to spice things up in the bedroom. So you go have a hot night there, and then ooh la la.
Often, I have many patients that use this as a way to sort of spice it up. So go have fun.
You know, and I think there's nothing wrong with going, you know, 4 or 5 times a week.
Oh, well, Dave likes the buffet.
The food is great. That's why I go, and I read Playboy for the articles. It is time to take a break. When we come back, we are helping the public.
All right.
Our panel of sexperts, including you, answer your questions, including...
How do I talk to my boyfriend about serious stuff without him just like blowing it off, actually listening to me?
Sorry, ask the question again.
Hey there, welcome back to Get Some. Dave Azer along with Dr. Lisa Paz. Time to get a little PDA, public display of affection. You, the public, ask Dr. Paz anything you want, and you're getting some free therapy out of it. And just to help you out, not that you need it, we're going to also involve our distinguished panel of sexperts.
I love them.
They come from all walks of life. So here we go. First question.
Yeah, baby.
My question for the doctor is, how do you get out of a love triangle when you're dedicated to both people?
Again, I don't know why this is the answer to a lot of the questions out there. A threesome, and you just pick and choose which guy do you want. I mean, you can do that, or you can just, whatever you like most, the qualities, just weigh them out, you know, and see who's better for you. Who will get you in a better financial position? Who will get you better as far as success in your life? Just think about those things and weigh them out, and just maybe measure their size, maybe.
Who says you got to get out of it?
No, you have to get out of it. You prioritize, and ultimately you need to sort of ask yourself, what's your long-term goal? Is the long-term goal to be with fun for now? Is the long-term goal to be with stable whoever? I mean, I think you really need to look at who brings what to the table and who meets your long-term goal. And you need to make peace with the fact that someone's going to get hurt, right? Because this person says, I care about both people. So you got to make peace with the fact that you're going to hurt a feeling.
Can you hedge your bet and just say, hey, I got to do this for 6 months, but don't go anywhere?
I mean, you can hedge the bet, but you know what happens.
Okay, so my question for the doctor is, when is it appropriate to suggest a threesome?
I think that A, you should approach it in a very humble fashion. You need to say, you know what really turns me on, and I don't know why this is. I love you so much, but I envision you and one of your friends seducing me. I think that would be a turn on. Or I envision you handcuffed and me licking all over your body, or whatever. So you don't want to make it sound too harsh. Never make it sound demeaning. Because if she thinks for a moment that she's not enough woman for you, the deal is off.
When you're on vacation, when you're like in Vegas or at a resort in the Caribbean, that's the time, because you're drinking and you're having fun, and there's always someone that's there that you know you're never going to see again. That's the best time to suggest it. I personally didn't even used to get until I saw a license plate from Quebec.
Midway through dinner?
Oh, well, depends on the person. Listen, I think that this is a really good example of you need to know your partner. For some people, it may never be appropriate. And for some people, the right time is after a few cocktails and you guys have been having a good time. Maybe after a visit to the strip club.
Right. How about on your birthday?
on your birthday on, where did I just see it? I just saw something where it was a 10-year wedding anniversary promise. So, you know.
Doctor, how can I get my ex-boyfriend to stop showing up at my house at 4 in the morning?
Oh my God, it's so easy. You have this problem too. When my ex-boyfriend shows up at my house at 4:30 in the morning, I just call up my dad and say, Dad, come out with the shotgun, sit on the porch for a few minutes, you know, psycho's coming over. Really, a lot of girls are having these issues these days. Just end it officially. Say, no spark, not into you, call the cops, and move on.
Well, are you sure you want him to stop? I mean, there's a reason why he thinks he can do that, but let's say you do. The thing to do is to come up with like these ridiculous chores. Like show up, when he shows up, say like, oh, you know what? I was just cleaning this closet. You can help me reach the top shelves or organize these drawers. Or another thing to do is to say, oh good, come cuddle with me while we watch this marathon of Real Housewives of whatever. Or find some weepy movie like, you know, The Notebook or something and watch that. Because the thing that guys hate is when they think a girl is crying for no reason whatsoever.
Men have, all people, but men especially, have this great surge of their hormones, their testosterone, their cortisol, all the good stuff between 4 and 8 a.m. So unfortunately, he's waking up with some wood and he's coming over to share the goods with you. So I'm telling you that he doesn't know why he's doing it, but it's biology that's forcing him to do it. And he just thinks of you every time his biology is talking.
If he's coming over at your house at 4:30 and you don't want him to come in because you know why he's coming over at 4:30, call the cops. When I call my girl at 4:30, she opens the door immediately because she knows what time it is.
Too obvious to say call the cops?
Probably.
That's,
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, you sit down and you just sort of have a talk and say inappropriate or stop answering the door. I mean, really, and this is the truth, not to get too serious right now, but the truth is, don't engage. So if an ex is doing a behavior that we really don't like, they will stop if you don't engage them. So if you open the door and you get in a fight, or if you know that, or let them know they're getting under your skin, you're reinforcing that behavior. So don't engage, ignore, ignore, ignore.
I have a problem with never being satisfied with the girl that I'm with. I always think that there's a better looking girl out there, or a better looking girl even in the same place as me, and it takes my attention off of a girl who, you know, may be better than the girl I'm looking at because I only look at looks more so. So I was wondering if you had any suggestions about that.
If you carry this on into your future and into your marriage, you're going to be in deep trouble. I see clients go through this all the time, and they always think that there's something better out there, and there is. But when it's somebody that you want to come home to every day, that's not necessarily the most important thing.
Look, bro, I don't want to insult you because every guy's done that. Every guy's thought that. But you got to think of it like this. Your girl is going to be somebody that looks better than her. It's going to be somebody that looks better than the girl that you left your girl for. So unless it's Oprah, where looks doesn't matter, only that bank account, you're always gonna find somebody who's better looking. So just stick with somebody that, you know, enhances you in your own life. P.S. Oprah, if you're looking for somebody, hey.
I mean, for those of you watching, what you might not know about the man to my right is I feel like, did you secretly position someone to ask this question?
I whispered it in the guy's ear
you
on
suffer
my behalf.
From this. This is like Dave's affliction. Listen, you know, there's this idea that every time, or maybe not an idea, but a truth, that when you make a commitment to someone, you're shutting off other opportunities. Make peace with that. Make peace with that. Because if what you have is good, focus on the good instead of sort of going to what could be outside.
My question for the doctor is, how do I talk to my boyfriend about serious stuff without him just like blowing it off, actually listening to me?
Focus on one thing and start with the words I. Never start with you did this and what's bothering me is you. All the guy's gonna hear is me attack. You're not going to war. You just want to get the guy to hear a little bit more about what's important to you. So be sweet, be soft, look hot, smell good, and make sure he's eating something. Very important. Don't talk to a man on an empty stomach. Disaster.
Sorry, ask the question again.
make an appointment to have the discussion. So you give a heads up to him either by text or by phone call. When you get home tonight, I need to talk to you about something serious, just giving you a heads up. Because a lot of times what happens is we get blindsided by a discussion. So the guy might come home ready to relax, open a beer, watch the game, chill out, and you're like ready to sit down and you've waited all day, you've gone it over in your head, and he's like, whoa, I just finished my work day, where's this coming from? So if you don't blindside them, you have a better chance that maybe they're going to engage. And, you know, the side note is, it's not a great boyfriend if at the end of the day, you're not feeling heard.
That's a great point, though, because we're getting bad news when you're not expecting it or a serious combo. Oh.
Right, and we don't do this in other ways. If we have a business meeting or if we have a doctor's appointment, you know, we set time aside to say, this is important and I need to be heard and I need you to hear me.
I love it. That's why you're on the show.
Thanks.
Just words of genius just flowing out. Hope you all wrote those down. That is sadly it for our show.
All right, I like that we ended on a real words of genius.
On to the genius of Dr. Paz. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, shorter guys are sexier. Oh, that wasn't in the article, was it?
No, but we'll say it for Dave's sake.
Thank you. If you have questions you want Dr. Paz to answer on our show, you just follow us on Twitter and Facebook at GetSomeOnTV and send us a message. It's so easy. Or you can even text the word pause and your question to 23539. And if you want to contact the genius over here for an appointment, you just go to her website, drlisapaz.com. She and I will see you next Friday at 5:30 a.m. and again next Saturday at 1 a.m. And in the meantime,
go get some. You've earned it.
Get some. You see it, wanna grab it. Get some.